Hello and welcome to T Money Talks. In this week's episode, T Money is going to talk about their relationship with the color pink. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hello, and welcome to T Money Talks, where I am going to talk about the color pink, not the color purple, the color pink. And that one was a joke for me. Also, I'm going to say this before I forget. I have an audience member again today. Yep. So I got to say that before I forget. And anyways, because I'm not alone. And I got to... anyways. I'm getting nervous. Anyways, back to the color pink. Yes, I have a lot to say about the color pink. Although I was going to say many things before I went into the color pink, but yet I immediately forgot everything I was going to say after I made my joke about the color purple. Ha ha ha. But anyways, here we are once again, running around chasing scars, trying to remember as I think about what it was I was going to say. I don't remember, but anyways, I guess this means I gotta just get right into it. Don't know how I feel about that, because I kind of wanted to throw the ball around before I got into the color pink and my whole issue with that. I don't know why. Well, I guess here we go. Anyways, let's do this, I guess. Diving right in. T Money Talks. Let's go. Anyways, yes, the color pink. I've had a very strange relationship with the color pink. Since the day I was born, I've despised the color pink. However, if you ask T Money of today, like if you were to ask childhood T Money, if you were to ask kid T Money how they felt about the color pink, they would throw up. They would look at you with disgust in their eyes and say that they hate that color. However, you ask T Money today on this podcast, I would say, well, it's not too bad anymore, I guess. I can't say I hate it. I can't say I love it though either, but I also do have a pastel pink water bottle, but so, who's to say? Who's to say how I really feel about this color? But I could tell you, it has been one strange relationship nonetheless, and a whole lot of discoveries over the summer I have discovered about the color pink. I was going to say the color purple, but we're not talking about purple. We're talking about pink. Yeah. Anyway, so over the summer, I was telling Jer about my relationship with the color pink, about how my hatred, I truly hated the color pink. I hated pink to my core. Pink, I hated pink so much, I couldn't be associated with that color. I couldn't own anything pink. If it had the color pink in it whatsoever, it was out. I couldn't like it. I couldn't allow myself to like it. I couldn't allow myself to wear it. Nothing, that's how bad I hated the color pink. There was one time in elementary school I was wearing overalls, but I think they were Barbie overalls, and the thing is, they were perfectly normal. There was no Barbie anywhere other than on the pocket of the chest. There was a very small, maybe 3-inch large logo patch that said Barbie, and it was pink. And because it was only 3 inches and it was pink on the overalls, I couldn't be seen with them. I wore a sweater over my shirt, over the logo for the whole day in elementary school, and it was hot. It was steamy outside, but I wore that sweater because I couldn't let a single child see that I was wearing the color pink, that I was associated, or that I was associating myself with the color pink. Why? I do not know. I just had a very deep despise for the color pink. I felt like pink was too feminine. Pink just screamed girly, and for me, I was like, no, that's not who I am. I don't want, from a young age, I was just not about gender, I guess, anyways, this is gonna be I'm laughing because this is going to be a lot wild. This is a lot wilder of a topic than anyone is expecting. Than anyone is expecting, including myself. Including myself. Because as I've thought more about me hating the color pink like my whole childhood, like I really like my sister's favorite color, my oldest sister, her favorite color is pink. And I just like I think like we also had a really bad relationship as children. Like we would constantly fist fight each other and like yeah, we were each other's bullies for no reasons. But I think part of the reason was because she likes the color pink so much and I just hated the color pink, and we shared a room, so that meant I had to live in a room that had pink associate. You know, I was living in a pink room. Well, I mean, our room was never pink. There wasn't anything pink in our room, but I just the idea that she would like such a color just irritated me so much that I yeah. Can you believe that? Anyways, I'm having a wild time discovering this. Anyways, yeah. So I just hated the color pink. And then I have come to realize that the reason why I hated it as a kid was that like I hated the color pink because it was associated with girls and being girly and like doing girly girl things, whatever on earth that means. I don't even know what that means, but little me just didn't like that. I just was like, no, I don't want someone to just assume that I'm a girly girl, that like because I like pink that I'm just a little lady and you know I'm fragile. I think that's what it was. I didn't like the idea that the color pink kind of in my head was associated with like this idea of like being a lady, and being a woman is like being fragile, and like I didn't want to be seen that way, I guess. But also I just didn't like the color at all either. So there was that too. But anyways, yeah, and then come one day this past summer, I was sitting on my bed with Jer, and we were talking about this, and he had asked he had arose the correct he had for blah 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 blah. He asked the question. He was like, could it be maybe in a past life that like something like about so I don't know, something like it having to do with being in a past life, like being like the color pink, and like maybe like being like too feminine or something, like and so then so that question pondered my mind for quite some time, quite long enough for me to now bring it onto the podcast, to where I'm like, could I have in a past life possibly been like treated in a way that where like I was just so like I could not show any feminine like qualities whatsoever, to the point where like in this time where I'm like I can't be where I don't know where I'm going with this, but I feel like possibly I don't know how I feel about that question now that I think about it again, but I do feel like Jer was onto something, that it possibly was like, because when I think about when I tell the story about me like wearing a sweater during a hot day just because to cover like me wearing the color pink, I totally lost my train of thought. Dang it, I forgot what I was saying. And I don't know where I was going. But anyways, we were on a roll there for a second. But, I don't know, me and like, I don't know. I feel like it's had to been like something that's happened in the past where like I feel like possibly in a past life I could have been a man or something or someone, and like or the opposite, I was a lady in a past life, and in the lifetime in that life like I was like forced to be like as feminine or as like ladylike or as proper or as like like the ideal woman, because then it could have been that, it could be the complete opposite where it wasn't like me being a man. I was a lady and I was just like pushed, like I was just so like pressed onto these ideas and just like forced to be like someone, like just be like this ideal woman, that when like I came to another lifetime where I was like, I want to be the complete opposite of that, where like I didn't want to be seen as like a girly girl, because like even though like I didn't want to be associated with the color pink, I also didn't want it to be perceived as like I'm also not a girl, because it's like, what is gender? I don't know, but like I don't know, like even at that age I was like, I want the world to know that I'm still a lady, but I'm also not a lady. And then so like I felt like the only way to do that was to not like the color pink in my head, aside of course, cuz we have to remember in my rambling of this podcast, that even though like I really didn't like the color pink because I know I was associated with girls and all that stuff, I just hated the color pink for some unknown strange reason, which Jer and I now think could have been the past life thing, which now that I don't know, I feel like I just, in my bones, in my head, like when I think about that, it feels right. Like it feels right in my body, like I'm like, yes, I am correct when I say that. I feel like I probably was, because sometimes I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I want to say that thought. Not because, oh dear, I just shook the mic. Not because I have an audience here tonight. Just because I don't know if I want to let that one out into the world. I think that might be a thought. That might be a thought just to be left for T-Money and no one else. Maybe one day off the airs I will tell others, but maybe not on the web for everyone to hear. anyways, back to me and the color pink. Yeah, anyways, so I started off like from being born hating the color pink, like, but slowly, gradually, as I got older, I like stopped truly hating the color pink and like kind of like started not liking it, but not necessarily like hating it all the time, like enough to where it was like, okay, I can be associated with it, I guess. I don't know if I would wear it, but like I could be around the color, because it was like pretty bad when I was a kid, where like I couldn't even like be around the color pink. Like I was like, nope, if the color pink's gonna be there, I'm out. Like I don't want to be a part of it, I'm never gonna wear it. Like me and pink, nope, we're gonna square up if we're in the same room. But then like in that's how it was in elementary school. Then by like middle school, I was okay with the color pink. I was still like on the idea of that, like the color pink means you are a lady, you're a girly girl, and that's still not how I wanted to be seen, but at the same time I still wanted to be like, but I'm a lady, and I feel like purple, which is my favorite color, I feel like that's a good neutral of like, you are a woman, but you're also not a fragile woman. Does that make sense? I don't know, but that's what goes on inside of my head. Anyways, yeah, I don't know where I get these ideas from. This is just, welcome to my crazy, wild mind. Hello, welcome. This is who I am. Yeah, anyways, that's all I have to say. Just kidding. Back we go. Anyways, yeah, so by the time middle school comes around, like, I was, like, okay, like, to be associated with the color pink, but by this time, like, in my life, like, I've just lived long enough to where, like, I've hated the color pink that everyone has now come to terms with the idea that every Anyway, so at that point in my life, everyone has come to terms with the fact that T-Money and the color pink just don't go together. They don't go in the same room. Don't ask me to wear the color pink, to mention the color pink. Like, everyone has gotten it into their heads that like me and the color pink, we just don't mix, you know? So by like in middle school, I'm like, well, I kind of got hurt about it, you know? I was kind of hurt that no one wanted to associate with me with the color pink. But I'm like, now that I look back at it, I'm like, how can I have been hurt about it when like I lived like my whole life hating the color pink, you know? But anyways, so eventually we move on to high school, and like I feel like somewhere along, I don't quite remember, but I feel like somewhere along in the middle school years, it gets known that like me and the color pink, we're all right. We could be seen together, you know, like not wearing it, of course, but we could be like seen next to each other. So by high school time, this is where like the doors burst open of like my family, and everyone was like, they're like, she's now okay with being associated with the color pink, so now let's get them to wear the color pink. And then that's where I started pumping the brakes back to where like I hate the color pink again, because it's like, hey, now just because I'm cool with being next to the color pink doesn't mean I want to be wearing the color pink, you know? Because and even today, I still haven't really left the idea of like the color pink being associated with being very feminine. And I don't know what, I mean, well, I guess I do know why, you know, because like when babies are born, what are the balloon colors, pink or blue, you know? So like it's just been there from the start, whatever. But anyways, going back, dang, what was I saying? We'll find out. I guess I'll find out. I'll remember eventually, maybe. Anyways, but yeah, so we were talking about babies, the color pink, blue, me being okay with it. Oh yeah, then people trying to get me to wear it in high school. Yeah, it started with like, yes, I did one time, remember, I did paint my nails a pink color before. Yes, I have had my nails painted pink before. And my best friend in high school, one time, I don't remember how. I think it just felt right in my bone. It just felt right in the moment and in my body. And I was just like, and I know she really wanted to do it. It was more, I think it was also because it was coming more so from a place of like, not like, I want you to wear pink because like I want you to be a girly girl, or I want you to be super feminine. It was more of, I want you to wear pink on your hands, because if you don't like it, you could like, if you do like it, you could keep wearing it, like it's not clothing, you know, because like I feel like she understood that like wearing it like as clothes, I was definitely not okay with, but like possibly wearing it like on my hands, like I felt like she kind of like saw the idea of like I could like the way my hands looked because they were painted, because I did paint my nails like as a kid, like, you know, so like I did like how painted nails looked. So I was like, you know what, yeah, I could give a shot of pink nails on my pink nail polish. And so like the idea, like it just came from a different place where it wasn't like I'm trying to make you very feminine. It was just, I'm trying to open you up to the idea of wearing pink. And I think that's why I was okay with it. And so I let her, and she painted my nails a pink color, and I really liked it. However, I immediately took them off like a few days later because of how like my family and stuff was like treating me, and like because of course like my whole life I grew up like hating the color pink. So when they saw me like finally wearing pink nail polish, they were like, oh my god, it's a miracle, like what is it, you know? And so it's just like I didn't want that, so I just took it off. Yeah, so that was the first time I think I wore pink in my life, or like wore pink and like showed it for like people to see for an amount of time, you know, unlike in elementary school when I hid Barbie from my whole school. Like, I didn't take that shirt off until I got into the car to go to my grandma's house, and I didn't even take my sweater off until we turned the corner to get to her house. So I knew, like, I was away from the school and I wasn't going to see any of my friends, and I could take off that jacket and be seen by my family, like, wearing the color pink. Whew, that was a lot. I can't even. I don't even remember where I was going with that. I don't remember. Do you remember? Oh yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about before that though. Question. Oh, oh, to where? Oh yeah, yeah. I guess that's where it came from. I don't know. I kind of just been vibing this one out. I guess no thoughts, just words. That's how this one was going. But yeah, yeah. So that was, and I can't lie. I really did enjoy like my nails painted pink. And, maybe I'll paint my nails again. Who knows? But probably not. Anyways, probably not. Just because I was like, no, my nails grow too fast. And I'm already looking at them and I'm like, I already gotta cut them. And like, as a musician, you gotta have short nails. Anyways, back to what I was saying about the color pink. Yeah. But anyways, but then, so the painted nails happened. But then that kind of like more like sped up the process. Or not sped up. What's the right word? It like, then like my family like tried even harder, and like everyone else tried even harder to make me. I feel like after I painted my nails pink, then it started like where like it was not just like me wearing pink. It started to like, it was more like, oh, she wore pink, now let's get her to wear just more girly things. And like that's where I didn't like it, and that's why I think that was my fear. That was my fear. I think now that I feel like I think about it, that was the fear I had as a kid, was that if I ever did embrace the color pink, then like everyone would then make my whole like life be of oh, shoot, I lost my train of thought as where I was going with that. Like how, what was I know what I was trying to say, but then I lost what I was trying to say. Like when I never wanted, I didn't want being associated with the color pink to make my goodness. I will be editing that out. Anyways, yeah, like I didn't want the color pink to associate with me as being like a super feminine woman, because I was like, that is not who I am. It's like, although sometimes like, yeah, I would like to be like extra feminine, I guess. Not, but and by that, like, I don't even know what I mean by that, like, because I definitely don't mean like I want to wear makeup and like paint my nails and like do any of that crazy stuff, because no, that's not at all what I mean. God, no. But I guess in like my own sense, like, I guess my biggest fear with being associated with the color pink was like that, yeah, that I would like just become like this super feminine person, and it's like that's not who I am, and that's like that's not what I want society to make me or think of me. And so, and then of course like the whole like me just having that deep hatred for the color pink. But yeah, that's my relationship with the color pink. And then come in college, like I finally wore my first pink clothing item willingly. I still have it. I don't know if it fits me anymore, but it's in my closet right now. It's a button up striped white and pink shirt that I got from Urban Outfitters. It was like $20, but I really liked the way it looked in it. I was like, and it was pink, but it was pink like my water bottle, like a nice pastel pink. I think like a bright pink or a hot pink, those pink, I don't like those pinks. I feel like I like pastel pinks because they're very calm, and I feel like if that was like that was like the normal pink, I would be okay being associated with that pink because I feel like that pastel pink, that like my water bottle, it's like it's not super it's like it's like not it doesn't feel super feminine to me, I guess. Like it feels just the right amount of ladylike in the pink, and that's what I like. That's how I feel about myself. Anyways, oh god. Anyways, fun facts about me. Ha ha ha. What is gender? What is the color pink? What was this podcast episode? How deep are we going to get? I don't know. Now I kind of wish, I'm like, dang, this could have been a hot topic with the guest. But sadly, I do these podcasts by myself. So no, not sadly, just kidding. I have a really great time talking to myself. And besides, I have an audience tonight. So I'm not really by myself, and it's still fun. Anyways, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about my relationship with the color pink. How it's going now? Well, I haven't worn that pink shirt in a while. I feel like I wore it a couple of times, and I felt really nice in it. But after those couple of times, I never touched it again, and now it just sits in my closet, and I don't know if it fits me anymore or not. But it's a nice shirt. It was a cool shirt. And now the only pink accessory I own is my water bottle. And honestly, it's more of a weapon than it is a water bottle. But it keeps me hydrated and it keeps me going. So yeah, that's where that's where I'm at with the color pink. I don't wear it, but I can use it as an accessory. Also, I have a rose quartz crystal, so that's pink too, but it's also a nice pink. I like calming pinks. Yeah, that's how I feel about pink. Anyways, let's talk about some other things now, cuz I got about like 10 more minutes to go, and that's all I want to talk about for the color pink. Talked about a whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of things. Well, that was, I hope that was fun. I think that was fun. I think it was a good time. A lot was said. A whole lot was said. Anyways, I got a new knife. It is official, folks. I lost my gold one. I went back to the pumpkin patch. I did eventually go back, but alas, no one turned in a gold knife. So I'm assuming someone found my knife that day, or a coworker, or a worker found that the knife one night, or one closing night or something, and they kept it for themselves. Whatever, I guess, but it's fine. It's better off with them, because if I'm being honest, I felt like the blade was getting a little bit wobbly. I don't know why. So I did feel like that blade was going to give out on me pretty soon anyways. So I leveled up anyways, because I got the new blade. It's the exact same knife, except a much better brand and much better, higher quality, and it's gray. It also looks more threatening. It's also harder to take out of my pockets, so that's how I know I won't lose it if I ever go down a slide again. I won't ever do that. I will never take this knife down a slide or anything like that ever again in my life, because I have learned my lesson. Although I don't think I'll lose it. But yeah, it's a much more higher quality knife. I did get it on Amazon. It was also cheaper than my gold knife. I saved myself some dollars. My gold knife was either $14 or $18. I'm pretty sure it was $14. But anyways, yeah. This one I got on Amazon. It was only like $11. Well, I didn't buy it. My mom's boyfriend bought it. Bless your soul, Mike. Anyways, yeah, it's very high quality. It's a camping, like, emergency or survival knife. It's a very nice blade. They got their logo branded on the blade. And then also, it has a thing to break glass, like windshields and stuff, and then also a seatbelt cutter or like to cut ropes. And it just feels real good in my hands, and it feels very threatening. Like, I feel like with my gold knife, I was able to joke around with it, you know? Like, I was able to, like, if someone was trying to, like, say something, or was, like, trying to, like, mess with me, or, like, we were joking around, like, it was funny to, like, take my knife out and be like, oh, yeah, punk, and then, like, ha ha ha, because it's a gold knife. But now, I feel like with my gray knife, when I do that, I feel like it's not really a joke anymore. I feel like it's just a little bit more threatening. Just a tad bit more threatening because it is gray. And it just looks more like it just looks like it could stab someone. You know, it looks like it could stab through something. I'm not going to, this is not me saying that I'm going to kill anyone because I'm not. This knife is strictly for self-defense reasons or purposes only, and also to open like bags of candy and chips and other items and such, and using it for other useful purposes that are used for knife purposes and camping purposes and all of that jazz. I am not a murderer. I do not murder folks. Anyways, on to new topics. Yeah, that's my knife. It's really cool. I'm enjoying it. We are bonding. What is other news I have to share with you all? I don't know. I have a heater in my room now. I have a little heating fan. It works almost too well, one might say. It works a little too well because my room is small. It's pretty small. So if I set it to about 80, 85, it'll warm up the room to 85, and then it'll turn off. And then it's like the first time it sets it off, it's good. It's a nice time. It's a nice, comfortable warmth. It's like a winter time warm. You know, like you're sitting by the fire. It's nice. But then the second time, when the warmth starts to go away, not too much, but it's like gone away to where you noticed it, and then it kicks back on, and it like the fan starts kicking on and spinning around, and it gets the room back up to 85. You're like, okay. I mean, I didn't need all that, but like it's still fine, you know. You're still enjoying it. It's by the third time where it gets too hot and you have to turn it off. It gets too warm in my room where I feel like the walls trap the heat. And then even after I turn off the fan and I unplug it, it's just the hotness just doesn't leave my room. Like I have to open the door, I have to open a window, I have to turn on both my fans to really get out all of the heat from the walls and just from my room. Because I've noticed these past couple nights when I've been using it and I've been turning it on before I go to bed, it leaves the room really hot. So like it just keeps warming up. So as the night goes on, my room doesn't really get cold. Well, it did yesterday because it was pretty cold yesterday. But my room sometimes feels like the summertime, and it's just not a good time. And that's why I say I think although my heating fan little thing, it works really good, it works a little too good for me sometimes. It works a little too good for me. But yeah, I don't know what else I have to say. Oh, I'm gonna be going to Seattle soon. That's some good stuff. That'll be continued on another podcast episode, because I will have a podcast talking about my trip to Seattle. Yes, I am excited. Seattle and Portland are two of those states I've always wanted to visit ever since I was a child. Why? I have no idea. I don't really have any other desire to visit anywhere else. I mean, of course, I would love to travel the world, like out everywhere. You know, I would love to travel as much as I possibly can in this lifetime. But however, I have very few places that I want to see before I die. And Seattle and Portland are the two main ones. I also want to go to Canada, but Seattle, it's number one. Switzerland's also on there somewhere. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm finally going to Seattle. and it's going to be a great time. I'm very excited that it's coming up on in December, so prepare yourselves for that nice cold winter time. Maybe it'll be snowing. If it snows, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do if it snows. I don't know what we're going to do if it snows. I don't know what we're going to do if it snows. I probably, I don't know how I would feel if we did get snowed in. I feel like, because I know when I was a kid, I always wanted to live in a state where it snowed because I always wanted to experience like a snow day, like not going to school because like no one could go anywhere because of the snow was so intense. I don't know. So maybe maybe I would enjoy being snowed in if it did happen. Just one I don't want it to. It's not gonna, I don't know. Well, who knows? Who knows if it'll even snow? I just know it'll be really cold. It's gonna be about 46 degrees probably. At least that's what the temperature was when I checked the other day. Wild times, wild times. Why did we choose to go to Seattle in the wintertime? I don't know, but I think it'll be an experience nonetheless. I feel like it's important to visit Seattle in all seasons because eventually I'm going to go again with my family to Seattle during springtime. So I'll get to see winter Seattle and spring Seattle. Get to compare the differences. Get to different vibes, different times. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm going to be out there for like what? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like 3 days? 2, 3, 3, 4 days? I don't know. 3, 4? 3 days? Yeah, 3 days. It's gonna be a good time. I feel like 3 days Seattle. That's enough to see Seattle. That it's gonna be a really good time. I'm very excited. We're flying there. We're flying there. Oh boy. I've only flown a few times. One time it was I've flown alone. Flying alone, I must say, I never want to fly alone ever again. I did not like it, mostly because I had no idea what I was doing because I've never flown alone before, and usually the person who I'm flying with usually takes care of like all the like stuff. So when I did have to fly alone for the first time, I had no idea what I was doing, and it was just it was a very stressful time. And also having to find a seat having to sit next to someone next to two other people you don't know. I was just like, this is not a good time for me. So that's why I don't want to ever fly alone again. I feel like flying with someone else is a significantly better time flying with someone else, because then you have someone to talk to, you have someone to pass time with, you don't have to sit next to two other people you don't know. You could sit next to just one other person, or if the flight's not completely full, you don't have to sit next to anyone else, and it's just a great time. Anyways, but yeah, I don't understand. My one question is, though, I don't understand how it's a 3-hour flight. I don't know. I feel like it should be a much shorter flight. I feel like Seattle isn't that far. I don't feel like Seattle is 3 hours away, but who knows? I have no idea on how any of that works. I don't know. I really don't know. So who am I to say? I don't understand the concept of like distance or time. What is it anyway? I don't know. Anyways, I just feel like 3 hours is a long time because it took me about that same amount of time to go to Texas. It took me about like 3 or 4 hours to get to Texas. So it's like, how is it takes the same amount of time for Texas as Seattle? I'm like, are those, so like, I'm just like, my brain, I feel like Texas should be like 8 hours away on a plane. But I feel like that also feels ridiculous. For an 8-hour plane ride to Texas? Who on earth would take an 8-hour plane ride to Texas? You'd have to be insane to take an 8-hour plane ride. I don't know how plane works. I don't know how planes work, man. I'm not a pilot. Although one time I did want to be, for a short period in my life, I did want to be a pilot. I did like the idea of flying a plane, but more so I just like the idea of flying. And then I finally flew and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like this. Or I just don't know if I like the idea of planes. But anyways, it's still gonna be a good time. I'm gonna have a fun time. I'm going to finally see Seattle for the first time, and then I will be able to mark that off of my list. And then, yeah, and then I'll come back, and then I'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Seattle. Most likely that's how the trip is gonna end. But who knows? Who knows? Because, you know what? Never mind. That's a thought for off the air. Anyways, I don't know. That I think that concludes all the news I have to say now. I don't know. I don't think I have any other. Oh, no, I don't think I have any other news to say other than I've been working on my EP and I have just been popping off on the vocal tracks. This EP is really just going to blow minds. It's going to just up level, like, just the growth in the music. I'm just gonna blow minds. I'm just gonna knock people's socks off. I'm putting in the work. I am making moves, as the young folks say. I am making moves. So yeah, that's also what I've been doing. It just needs one more song to go. Then I'm gonna put in all the work to get it promoted and do all the stuff for that. And then, okay, yeah, now I think that concludes everything that I have to say. We've talked about my relationship with the color pink and the gender and all that stuff that came with it. That was fun. That was a good time. I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And then we caught up. And so, yeah, I hope you're doing great. I hope your life is going swell. I'm doing pretty well sometimes. Some days can be rough, but who's to know what's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm tired. Anyways, I think that's where I'm gonna end this podcast, because honestly, if I say anything else, it's just not gonna make any sense, because I don't know where I'm gonna go with it, because I don't know what I'm saying. I'm stalling at this point, so I'm just gonna stop stalling. And we're going to bring this episode to an end. So until next week, guys, this is T Money saying live your life because you are the only one who gets it. All right. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Bye.